Shalom, shalom, everyone. This is Shaina Israel from the School of Knowledge, the Nation of Yehudah. This is our Sabbath day class. We'd like to say shalom, shalom to those who are listening in the listening audience. Thank you for joining us today, and we're continuing our lesson on the wilderness, and we are looking forward to this lesson, and we're expecting some great things to come from this. This is part 4, if I'm not mistaken. Going into part 4, we will have one more activity, and that will complete the wilderness lesson for us, but there's so much when you start getting into this wilderness lesson. And so I'm going to open up my screen. You guys let me know if you can see the screen.
Yes.
We went through this last week, Petra, and we've had a very enjoyable class, a phone call today, so we're starting a little late, but we're going to try to get through this. And some people, Petra is a place that is located in the land of Edom, and it's a city that has been carved out of a mountain. Now, I don't believe man did it, but people can say that they did. But we're going to kind of go back over some of this stuff here before I go into the scriptures. But it's a beautiful place. It's a tourist attraction right now. Really is. It's a gorgeous place. But it took skill to be able to do this because this is granite rock. You know what I'm saying? To be able to have the detail in here. So I still don't believe man did this, but that's what they say. Look at how detailed that is.
Right.
And this is made from the rock. This is no other material other than granite rock.
Mm-hmm.
Just beautiful stuff, and it's still standing. It's critical. So I just want to cover this, and for you all who can't see the screen, you can't see the pictures, but we will be definitely going through the scriptures today so that you'll be able to follow us. Look at the detail in that. I just don't believe man did that. I really don't. So guess what? If they did, where are their descendants that know how to do that today?
Right.
All right. Isaiah chapter 16, verses 1 through 4. It says, where is the place? It says, send ye the lamb to the ruler of the land of Selah, to the wilderness, unto the mount of the daughter of Zion. For it shall be that, as a wandering bird cast out of the nest, so the daughters of Moab shall be at the fords of Arnon. Verse 3, take counsel, execute judgment, make thy shadow as the night in the midst of the noonday. Hide the outcast, bewray not him that wandereth. Let mine outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler. For the executioner is at an end, the spoilers cease, the oppressors are consumed out of the land. And in mercy shall the throne be established, and he shall sit upon it in truth in the tabernacle of David, judging and seeking judgment and hasting righteousness. All right, so here we go from Petra. Selah, Petra, the city of refuge. Selah, Petra is an amazing place whose massive rocks, walls, and enclosings make it nearly impenetrable from outside attack of any kind. It says Selah, Petra is a real place that exists today. For starters, Selah is an actual literal place that still exists to this day, and we read about the geographic location of Selah in 2 Kings chapter 14. Let's see. And here's what it says, the biblical references. He slew Edom in the valley of Salt, 10,000, and took Selah by war, and called the name of it Joktheel unto this day. And that's 2 Kings chapter 14, verse 7. Now we're going to go on to another reference, and that's Psalms 108, 10 through 12. Who shall bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? Will not thou, O Yah, who has cast us off? And will not thou, O Yah, go forth with our host? Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man. Through Yah we shall do valiantly, for he it is that shall tread down our enemies. These are just biblical references. Now, This is another scripture that we had. This was what Dawid had in Psalms chapter 108. It says, to Dawid, the strong city in Edom had to be what we call Petra today. That is where he wished to be as a place of safety from his enemies. It was nearby to Jerusalem and Judea. Anybody have any questions?
What chapter and verse did you just read?
I read out of Psalms, let me go back up here, Psalms 108, verses 10 through 12. Because we know that Dawid wrote the book of Psalms, some of them anyway. All right, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 36. He said the desolate place. It says, we're starting at verse 33. Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 33 through 38. It says, thus saith the Most High Elohim, in the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities, I will also cause you to dwell in the cities and in the ways, and the ways shall be built. Here we go. Watch what he says. Now, this is supposed to be the desert. This is what the desert looks like now. Everybody agree? Mm-hmm. Who all can see the picture? This is the desert. This is what it looks like. Watch he says. The land tilled. He said, the desolate land shall be tilled, whereas it lay desolate in the sight of all that passeth by. That's what it looked like. That's what he said. Lay waste. Ain't nothing but dirt. It's nothing out there but rock and dirt. Watch what he says. Here's the picture. He says, and they shall say, this land that was desolate is become like the Garden of Eden. Does it look like this? Then it's going to go to this.
Wow.
And that's something? Wow, he said, everybody that passed by is going to say, that land was desolate at one time. Now it looks like the Garden of Eden. It's going to have water and trees. It's going to have stuff going to start springing up in the desert. Watch what he said. And the waste and the desolate and ruined cities are become fenced and are inhabited. Watch. Then the heathen that are left round about, you shall know that I, the Most High, built the ruined places and planted that was desolate. I, the Most High, have spoken it, and I will do it. So how many know when he say he's going to do it, he's going to do it? Watch what he said. So it went from here to this. To this. He said, thus saith the Most High, Elohim, I will yet for this be inquired of by the house of Israel. Guess what? To do it for them. I will increase them with men like flocks. He said, I'm getting ready to do all this for Israel. All of this is getting ready to be done for us. As the holy flock, as the flock of Jerusalem in solemn feast, so shall the waste cities be filled with the flocks of men, and they shall know that I am the Most High Yah. Any questions? This is a very good scripture to have when you're dealing with the wilderness and what it's going to look like. Because he said it's going to be a desolate place. And the heathen is going to say, that place looks like the Garden of Eden. All of it for Israel. Anybody have any questions? I guess not. Ain't nobody saying nothing. All right. Comment. Yes, it is. That's why we got to have a whole nother class, because we got to bring that in. Because we got to know what to look for.
Right. Okay.
Right now, that's why we're going to have another class next week, because everybody's going to know, well, how will I know when it's going to be time to go? All right, here we go. Selah or Selah. Petra is the Greek name for Selah, a city of ancient Edom. The Hebrew word Selah means lofty, craggy rock, fortress, stronghold, cliff. Petra is located 120 miles south of Jerusalem, almost due south of the southern tip of the Dead Sea, and 60 miles north of Aqaba. Petra, meaning rock in Greek, is a desert city south of the Dead Sea in Jordan. In antiquity, it was known as Seir, metropolis of the Edomites. And remember, last week we talked about how Edom, Moab, and Ammon are going to be spared from the last days so that they can do what?
Help us.
They got to help us. That's right. It says, in latter times, the Nabateans settled in the mountain stronghold of the dislodged Edomites and called their capital Petra. It says, historical information. The Nabateans, the kingdom of Arabia Petra, an Arab Ishmaelite tribe known as the Nabateans, replaced the Edomites and made Petra their center beginning about 300 BC. So we know that the Nabateans are the Ishmaelites, and we know that the Ishmaelites are the Arabs today. The Nabateans migrated up from South Arabia and had a history of carving cities into the stone. I still don't believe they did that. They worship rock, and their god, Dusher, is represented in obelisk carvings on the buildings and niches throughout Petra. Nabateans gained a monopoly on the lucrative spice trade from the east through Elah, or Aqaba, and Gaza. It says the city is situated in a rift valley which extends from the Kidron Valley in Jerusalem through the Dead Sea and further south. The remains of the spectacular city consist of temples, tombs, and dwellings carved out of sandstone cliffs. Crucial.
So wait, the Petra place got other gods carved in the rock?
Yeah, it does. Well, symbolisms of them, yeah. But guess what this Most said we was going to live? He said we was going to live in where? Where was we going to sleep at? Remember last week we talked about that? Where did he say we was going to sleep at?
On the ground.
He said in the woods, right?
In the woods.
So we're not going to, I don't think we're going to be in there, but we're going to be in that area where it's guarded.
What if it changed, though? Like when all that happened, what if something supernatural happens and it cleans it out?
I have no idea. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. We'll see. It says the only entrance to the city is through a narrow gorge, almost 2 kilometers in length, which can easily be guarded and even blocked if necessary, thus rendering Petra a very safe refuge.
I was going to say.
All right. Any questions about that? She said, what if he changes? If he does, he does. But guess what? That's not going to be the only place that we're going. That's just the place where I believe we're going to start at. Because we have to go to Sinai. Okay, the time of the wilderness. And somebody said, how long will it be? This has always been an issue. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The Mount Sinai is about 100 miles from Petra. Around Jordan. But the thing is that, you understand, it's supposed to be one way in and one way out. That's what makes it safe haven. You understand? So that nobody else can come through there or sneak up on us in any kind of way while we're in that valley. You understand? That's the valley of, they call that the Valley of Zen.
Yeah. That's right.
I have another question also. This is not the first time I heard of Petra. I heard the Gentiles talk about it. I guess what I'm trying to find out is if they act like they're going to go, like this is where they're going. Because, they're more or less, they're talking about the church. So here's where the church is going.
Yeah,
Petra.
I remember that.
So I'm like, they think they're just like, gonna walk in with everybody else.
I doubt that very seriously. Petra is tied to Edom.
Right.
That's why I was saying the other day, you have to understand Esau as well as Israel. The 12 different sons from the Israelites. Just like when the Most High talk about Teman. Teman is the capital city of Edom. Our whole city, those cities are tied to Edom, and the Most High don't have nothing to do with Edom.
So I feel a little different about that. I'll say that now. And that's going to be a part of the next lesson, too, about the Gentile, because, just like it was a mixed multitude when we came out of Egypt, it's going to be a mixed multitude when we come out there. Case in point, the men that are married to women of other nations, they're going to bring their families with them.
All right.
Right. So, but he makes a point, though, to say that none of the house of Edom is going to remain and none of the Canaanites going to remain.
I mean, I know that, but I'm just saying those people are going to bring their families with them, and they're going to be in the wilderness with them. That's going to be a whole other lesson because we really do have to touch on those people bringing their family members with them. You know, but the church today teaches it like they're Israel because they believe that they're spiritual Israel and that the real Israelite people are the people that are in the land now. That's what they believe.
But, you know, if you read Nehemiah or Ezra, it tells you, man, see, we got to have a point of reference that we can go to. You understand? Right. To make sure that we are abiding by the laws that the Almighty has set aside for us. Now, I'm not sure that I can agree with those other nations. You understand? Coming down there in the valley of the what's name? Because it only talks about Hebrew Israelites. It's not talking about them other nations.
Well, that's kind of not true, but we're going to cover that because there's a whole lot of information that supports that we won't be the only people in the wilderness when we go to the wilderness before we go into the land. Because and it's a lot of scriptures that supports that. It does. It really does. But again, that's going to open up a whole door of debate because Israel gets very territorial when it comes to our exit strategy. They want it to be us and only us. And, you know, because we've been through so much, you know, that we want out. Right. And we want to be in a place where it's just us and we finally safe, you know. But, I mean, we'll have to see. Let's just say that. Let's leave it right now till we will agree to disagree, and then we'll go over the scriptures and see.
Yeah, because Sister Aina, there'll be such a large amount of us that we couldn't possibly fit into one location. So
that's not true. We all gonna fit in one location.
Wow.
And not to mention, when you say Gentiles, it's black people that's Gentiles. How? It depends on who your father is.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, black people with black skin, that's true.
Well, I mean, you have to see, because here's what it says in the scriptures. It says, Yahweh is the progenitor of the Gentile nations. Now, if we, it depends on who the Almighty is choosing, because that's
I think what she's saying, Brother Donia, is that there's a lot of people that have Caucasian fathers, and they have black skin, or they have a tone to their skin. And according to the law of the Most High, the lineage goes through the father. So even though they may look black, they're not us.
Right.
That's what she's saying. That these people look like they black people, but if your father is of another nation, then you are of whatever your father is.
Well,
look at Mariah Carey.
Right.
Look like a white girl, but his father is black.
That also ties to waking up too.
Yeah.
Because you could be mad at somebody that looks black and they ain't.
That's true. That's very true. So you got to take your lineage back, and like we said last week, it makes you ask questions about things that you didn't even think about before.
Well, we'll have to see, because we ain't at that point yet.
No, that's it. Ain't nothing to see. We know that. From the scriptures, the lineage goes through the father.
And there's a lot of black people. You know, I had pulled up this YouTube clip that had put the movie stars on there, and all of them that were black, that looked black, and when they showed their fathers, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, I never would have thought, because these people look like black girls and black men, and, you know, it's like, wow, I never would have thought of it, but it doesn't mean that they can't come.
Well, you made a valid point here, you understand, when you see, what I base myself on is the understanding that I have of who we are as a nation, you understand, but, you understand, that's not, we'll have to see this actually all transpire. We're going to have to let it play all the way out.
Yeah. Because some people going to come because they got black skin, and they're going to be able to fit in with us, and they're willing to follow the laws, statutes, and the commandments. Because, I mean, how else are we going to have those? How else are we going to be able to have those people to be servants for us?
That's right.
And I know I'm going to get in trouble for this one on YouTube.
No, you're not going to get. That's a true statement, though. What about the people who actually drafted it?
Exactly. You know, how else are we going to be able to position ourselves to the point where we can have servants? Because that's not going to be the same way they treated us.
No.
Right. My understanding is that it's going to be after the tribulations that the other nations go through. If they come out of that tribulation and been found worthy, then when we, after that, that's when we'll have servants and so forth. Because my understanding of being in the wilderness is for us, Israel, to be taught. Plus, it was all against the scripture where he has the recompense. You know what I mean? Right.
Well, yeah, that's why I said it's a really touchy script subject. It would take a whole class, so let's just hold off on that one, and we're going to move on, stay on this part of it, because I'm going to go over that next week. I'm going to have to put that on the record of them in the scriptures that say there, when they're coming and how they're coming and who's coming. And because remember, he said the remnant of those that are left. So it's going to be some that's going to be left out of this stuff. And like I said, those men are not going to leave their wives. They're going to bring their wives and their children with them when we come. So they're not going to leave their wives. They coming. And some of the people that got dark skin and have fathers that are of the other nations, they coming too. So it's just going to be a situation where the Most High going to have to judge and do what he says. Okay, here we go. The time of the wilderness. How long will we be there? Here we go. Revelation chapter 12. Got to go in Revelation chapter 12. This is very important. This also covers the wilderness. And we are dealing with Revelation chapter 12, verse 1. It says, the woman. There appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Somebody tell me, who is the woman? It's Israel. Here we go. Let's see. And a woman clothed with, let me move, I meant to take that out. I'm sorry. Who is the woman? Here we go. And we got a precept for this because we have to precept this. Everybody says it's Israel. Well, how do we know it's Israel? Let's go to the precept. The dream. Genesis chapter 37, verse 9 through 11. And he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren and said, who do you think it was that dreamed this dream? The dreamer of the Bible. Well, who is it? Joseph. Here we go. He said, and behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. His father and his brethren. And he told it to his father and to his brethren. And his father rebuked him and said unto him, watch what Jacob says. What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I, there's the sun, and thy mother, there's the moon, and thy brethren, the stars, indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee to the earth? Anybody have any questions on that one? Let me go over it again. Who is the woman? It says, and he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren. Let me back up some. Go back here. He says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven. Now, John is seeing this. He's seeing a vision of time to come in the future. The Most High showing him a vision. He said, a woman clothed with the sun. So she's going to be clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. So we got to find out who this woman is. Here we go. Watch what he says. The dream. Genesis chapter 37, verse 9 through 11. And he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon And the 11 stars made obeisance to me. So we know that it was 11 stars because Joseph makes up what?
12.
Makes up 12. Joseph makes up 12. So Joseph is having a dream, and in this dream, he saw the sun and the moon and 11 stars bowing down to him. Watch what he said. And he told it to his father and to his brethren. And his father rebuked him and said unto him, and this is what Israel said, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I, there's the sun, and thy mother, there's the moon, and thy brethren, there's the stars, indeed, come to bow down ourselves to thee to the earth?
We're the stars because we're the children of as men.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're Israel. That's it. That's it. We're Israel.
We are Israel. He's talking about Israel. His brothers envied him, but his father observed the same. In Israel, Jacob kept it in his mind. His brothers got mad. Like, who do you think you are? You ain't but 17 years old. How you always bound down to you? You better get it. You know, you the youngest of all except for Benjamin. How you going to have a dream and we going to bow down to you? That brings us back. Watch, here we go back to Revelation chapter 12, verse 2. Watch John said it. He said, and she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. He said, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head. Watch. Here we go. Here's the set. We're going to precept that one. What is the horn? We got to go to Daniel chapter 7, verse 23 through 25. Watch what it says in Daniel. Thus he said, the fourth beast, Daniel's talking about the last days of what he saw. He said, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms. And it shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. And another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time, that's 1, times, that's 2, and the dividing of time, that's 3. What does that mean? What does time, times, and half a time mean?
2.5 years.
3.5 years. 3.5 years. You got 1 here. This is the time. You got times, which means more than 1. And then you have the dividing of time, which means a half. Now, I'm going to prove that to you with several different scriptures today, because I know that has been an issue. Here's another precept. He said, we're going to Daniel chapter 12, verse 1 through 7. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. Watch. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, some to shame and everlasting contempt. They that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament. They that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever. Sister Shania, there it goes.
Yeah.
There go again. There go the stars. We read it again. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament. They that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever. Watch. But thou, O Daniel, he says, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood other two, the one on this side of the bank of the river, and the other on the other side of the river. One moment. And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, how long shall it be to the end of these? And I said, and I heard the man clothed in linen, which was up on the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time. How many is time? One. Times, how many is time? Two. And
why does time have to be two?
Like, I'm getting ready.
Why can't it be like 15?
I'm getting ready to prove it to you. So we got, how much do we have?
3. 3.5.
And then 3.5. Now watch, we can recover this. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy angels, all these things shall be finished. This is just a precept. Now watch. Now we're going back to Revelation chapter 12, verse 4. Watch what his tail does. It says, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. Now I'm going to ask you, Sister Sanaya, after you know all that, who are the stars?
Who are the stars?
Yes, Israel. It's Israel. Let me read it again. And his tail drew the third part of the stars and did cast them to the earth. Now, I have a question for you. Knowing what you know now, because Christianity told us that Lucifer took a third of the angels, followed him, and left the heavens. Is that what this says? No. Don't say that, do it. No. So what does this say? It knocked him out. He knocked him out. His tail threw him out.
But see, that's why
Israel started out where? Let me see. Israel started out where, Sister Sanaya?
In the kingdom. The heavenly
kingdom. And who threw him out of the kingdom?
Lucifer.
The dragon, absolutely. Right. And where did he throw us to?
The earth.
He threw us to the earth. We've been trying to prove this concept over and over again.
Wow. But that's also why you shouldn't try to study on your own if you don't know what you're doing. Because I read that 100 times and I never got that out of that on my own.
Wow. Wait, repeat that again. So you mean what? So when they're actual spirits, you're saying, sister?
Say that again.
Well, they actually are saying that the devil, a third part of us, and there were actually spirits that were thrown to the earth.
Say the spirits were
thrown to the earth. Yeah. Is that what I'm trying to understand? Was that actually spirits that were thrown to the earth?
Somebody explain it to them. Were we spirits? No, we weren't spirits.
No.
Who were we? Somebody tell me who we were.
We were gods.
We were the gods.
Well, there were spirits. If you're a god, you have to be a spirit power.
Yeah, if you want to put it like that, yeah, we weren't of this realm. Yes, sir, we were. You're absolutely right.
Right.
We weren't of this world.
Well, then.
I think what is yours.
And you know what? A lot of people, I heard a Israelite teacher say, oh, no, the Most High just adopted Israel, just like he adopted the Gentiles. I said, oh, no, sir, not this time. This goes way deeper than anything you could begin to imagine.
Yeah, that is deep. Boy,
He's coming to redeem us. Yes.
Yes, he got to put us back to our status. That's what redemption is all about. And guess what? I'm going to ask you the $1 million question. How many will be redeemed when it's all over?
A third.
One third.
One third.
But
that 1/3 could be, what, 100 million people or 100 million spirits.
Exactly. We don't know how many of us was flung out. It says that his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and did cast to the earth.
Boy, you talk about enlightenment.
So how can people put this lesson up?
It's going up tonight.
Okay. Okay.
It's going up.
All right. Okay, I got a question. And okay, I might mess with some people, but I'm just trying to understand this.
That's all right.
Okay. So now we know that Yah made this earth for us, right?
Exactly.
For Israel. So we know that Satan, the dragon, basically what he did was had a fit, and he pushed, if you want to say, the Israel out of where we were supposed to be in heaven. Now, when he did that, and we know that this earth was formless and void, then at the time when we got pushed out, Yah knew that we're getting pushed out. He needed some place for us to go, and so he made this earth.
Well, I think the earth was already made because the Most High knows all things. He didn't have to rush and hurry up and make it. I think that he knew what was going to happen and it was already made. And I think that the angels really dwelt here. There was a place where they came back and forth, and they dwelt here from my understanding. And then when this happened and he did what he did, that it was already a plan that was put in place.
Right. Okay.
You know, and then what happens is, here and I don't want to get off, but I got to do this because I love this part of the story. What happened was, once it happened, then he flames into action, and he decides, I'm going to create a man. I've got to create a place for them, and in order for them to dwell here and live here, they have to be from this place. So I'm going to create a man from the dust, and put him together and breathe in his nostrils, and he becomes a living soul. And then I'm going to pull the female out of the man so that when he's looking at her, he split the atom, and they're looking at one another, so that when they come together, that they will birth Israel back into the earth. Israel has to be made from the dust because he said, if you are made here, you live here. So he had to create a system where we would have to be able to be birthed into the earth.
Okay, all right.
And that's why it's so important to come through the womb of the woman. That's a whole nother lesson. See, Lord have mercy. You know, the Most High let me tell the story. I've been wanting to tell this story for so long. But it's a power when you come through the womb of the woman because it gives you the authority to be on this earth.
Right.
Because he didn't have to make it again. Adam and Eve. He didn't have to do it all over again because the process was already done. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
All right, let's move on. So we got this. So now we have some statement about that 1/3 because there's a reason why he says 1/3 will make it. He said 2/3 of Israel shall be cut off and 1/3 shall make it because he's got to redeem this 1/3. Watch, here we go. And the dragon stood before the woman, ready to be delivered to devour her child as soon as it was born. Watch. And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. Watch. And her child was caught up unto Yah and to his throne. Now, I believe that's the Messiah. Because the book of Revelation is his book. That is his testimony. And when you read it, it is the revelation of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. We're gonna prove that. Let's get to the point, because I know there's a lot of people on the line who don't believe in the New Testament. I'm trying to step on anybody's toes, but we got to get through Revelation chapter 12 for us to understand the wilderness. Because John is seeing all of these things. He's seeing past and future. Why? And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of Yahweh. that they should feed her 1,203 days. How long is that?
3.5 years.
3.5 years again. Years on again. Watch. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon fought against his angels. And the dragon fought and his angels. Why? And prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in the heavens. Now, our thing has not happened yet. It's taking place now, but it hasn't happened yet. Because I believe that once he's kicked out, we're in full-fledged tribulation at that point. I don't believe we're there yet. That's just in my opinion. Watch what it says. And the great dragon was cast out. And somebody's phone is really staticky. Could you please put it on mute? I don't know whose it is. That old serpent called the devil and Satan. Cities the whole world. Watch. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Now, this is when his angels come with him. But it was not that 1/3. Is what they taught us in Christianity. I'm about to put somebody's phone on mute. I hate to pause this to do that because it really, Chris, would you put your phone on mute? On this moment. Put this on here because I actually go to this 3 weeks. Whose phone it is, but somebody's phone is really staticky. I mean, really staticky. I'm gonna keep doing it until I find out what it is.
Well, it ain't me.
Okay, let's see. All right, I got 2 people's area code 412. I got yours on mute. I'm gonna unmute it and see if that changes anything. And then 9. Yeah, that's 412. 412. I have to put your phone on mute, Mr. Foster.
I'm on mute.
I know, but it's some noise coming from somewhere. Mr. Foster, I'm gonna put your phone on mute.
Go ahead. I hope it wasn't me.
Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. You guys can definitely use the chat line if you want to, and we'll go from there. All right, here we go. Let's see where we at. Let me open up my PowerPoint presentation back again, and then we're going to start at this scripture. All right, so here we go. It says, and he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Watch what happens. Watch this. I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Messiah. Watch, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before Yah day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. So whatever's getting ready to happen, they come into the earth and out of the sea. It's getting ready to get ugly. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. Somebody knocked on my door. All right, here we go. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. Watch, that's Israel, watch. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time. How many is that?
1
Times
2.
and a half a time, which means how much is that?
3.5.
3.5 years from the face of the serpent.
So we gonna fly there?
Well, wait a minute, watch. And the serpent cast out of his mouth as a flood after the woman, that she might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And when it usually says flood, it means usually armies, people. Usually when they talk about large bodies of water, they're talking about people.
Right.
And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. Watch. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. Who is the remnant of her seed?
All the people that didn't come.
All the people that didn't come and her children. All the people that didn't come. Watch. Which keep the commandment of Yah as one group and have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. That's two groups. Watch. And I stood upon the sand of the sea. Oh, I'm sorry. Now, I want to stop there because I got to go there. All right. So, what do you think?
So does that mean we're going to fly here? What does the part about the wings mean?
The great wings of an eagle. It's a possibility that some will fly and some will go by boat, but I really think that the wings of the eagle is the power of the Most High Yah.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be great wings of an eagle, which means that he's going to put us in there. How we get there, I have no idea.
So is the woman the church?
We won't. Say that again?
Is the woman Israel?
Yeah.
Who's the woman? Yeah, okay.
You said, is she the church? No.
Oh, not the church. I mean, Israel. That's
it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we run it into the wilderness to escape because there's a place of safety prepared for us. Anybody have any other questions before we move on?
I have a question. So the people apparently that don't go whenever it's time to go are the ones that are just gonna get it. And the other question I have, when the devil took his tail and knocked a third of us out of the sky or out of heaven, Shemaim, why weren't they able to go back up? Because the angels go back and forth. I don't know why. To me, my thought was, why weren't they able to just go back up?
That makes sense, but you know what? I don't have the answer to that one. I have no idea why they couldn't just go back up and change the way, and be there. Right. Evidently, it was something that was keeping them from going back up there. Right. If he thrown us out, the Most High had to do something to be able to, to redeem us, because that's what the story of redemption is all about.
I had a question.
Yes.
So the third that was knocked out, that's us, right? Like, not other people like ancestors like me, Malka, you, Yaina. Those were actually us.
I was thinking all of us throughout time.
Well, that's a very good question.
If we're the third that's going back, it was us, right?
What if it doesn't happen in your time frame? Then the people behind you, is it going to be them?
But me today was not me then.
Let me ask you this question. Is there anything new under the sun?
No, so that was my point. We're not new. So how do we know we just don't remember being knocked out?
If we are part of the third.
If you were part of the third, right.
Because that's the big question. Nobody knows whether we're a part of the third or not. We just don't know that. And we're all going to the wilderness to make the cut, like Brother Doniel said. We all got to make the cut, because everybody's not going to make it.
Right, but what if we are like that third?
Yeah, we will go under the rod, and we will be proven. And I'm going to get into all of that, too. We will go under the rod, we will be proven, and everything we will go through, we'll be the ones that go into Jerusalem. That first group. Because I'm just talking about the first group that made it in there.
Because that last group,
the other groups will be able to come to the wilderness as well. But I'm just saying, if we make it, it's a beautiful thing.
Well, let me ask the people that don't make it, that's really going to catch heck. I don't know if they know. It's like going to be horrible, because they're going to have grasshoppers that are like half man and
animals that are half whatever, and I'm like, they better read.
I mean, look at this. It says, this going to be horrible. And the dragon was angry with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. To do what? Which kept the commandment of Yah and had the testimony of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. So he ain't coming to play with them either. He's like, oh, I'm going to get somebody. I couldn't get her. I'm definitely going to get you. And guess what? Some, then that's what we're going to get into next week, because it's going to be a lot. Some going to be hid out in holes, and some, and he said, I'm going to send people to get you. I got to dig you out of the cleft of the rock. I got to dig some going to be hiding, starving, because they just didn't listen.
And that's one
It's a terrible time.
It's this revelation where they say somebody decides you may die and you're going to be sitting right
Exactly. You know, and some of your family members going to sneak and get the mark of the beast, and they going to bust out in boils and stuff and turn you in so they can eat. It's going to be all kind of stuff jumping off. Not to mention the giants going to come on the scene. They're going to be eating folks. They cannibals. They eat people. Meat is meat. That's why I said leave this stuff. It's the time, when the time comes, I don't know when it's going to be. A lot of people say that it's when the abomination of desolation stands in the holy place. And when you see the temple going up, start attacking. I don't know if it's even going to be then. It may be before then if they offer, you know, when the UN is supposed to be working out reparations for us, and if they offer us tickets to go back to the Middle East and to be able to live in a certain region, I'm out. Because you ain't going to need no passport, no money, no nothing. All you have to do is trust Yah and know when it's time to go. And that's what I said. Our children are so caught up in this technology and so caught up in this stuff that they'll be somewhere trying to stay behind because they got a new girlfriend or a new boyfriend. You need to leave that mess for real.
I have a comment. A quick one. 1/3 of us was cast down to the earth. So the 2/3 are who?
They still Israel, but they just won't make it.
No. If 1/3 of us was cast down, then 2/3 remained in Shemahim, which is heaven.
No, I don't know that. I can't say that. I don't know. I don't have that answer. All I can really deal with is I know that a third was swept out, and there has to be the other part that's still there. You're right. Yeah. I thought you meant the 2/3 that was on the earth that wasn't.
No. I was just wondering who those 2/3 are that remain. Yeah. Okay.
Well, here's the thing.
Say again.
Never mind. I was getting ready. Never mind.
All right, Revelation chapter 13, the beast. He said, I stood upon the sands of the sea and saw a beast rise out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. Now, we know that that's the Roman Empire. That's the European Union. Ain't that right, Brother Leonard?
Yes.
This will be the last and the 10th resurrection of the Roman Empire. You know, and these people are coming out of the EU. These are talking about kingdom. When he saw the beast, he saw a kingdom. Watch. And we're going to get into who these are. I'm just going through the scripture so I can make a point. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, because all of these symbolisms have a nation behind it. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. And his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. This is the nation. Watch. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things, and blasphemy, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. How long is 42 months?
3.5.
3.5 years. He opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yah, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, so he going to make war with those that stay behind, and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So, I mean, you know, if you don't make this cut, most of the people going to have to die in order to make it in. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So from the foundation of the world, when the world, before the world was formed, our names was written in the book. Remember, we talked about that the Most High brought the book with him at Sinai. He had it with him. Remember, Moshe told him, blot my name out the book. If you're going to get rid of these people, blot my name out the book. We have that up on YouTube if you want to hear that one. Hold on. All right, he said, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Any questions? Well, here we go. Any questions? Anybody has any questions at all whatsoever?
So I have a question.
Let me finish.
Okay.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Yes, ma'am. What is your question?
Okay, so in Daniel 7, it talks about the same beast that's in chapter 12 or 13. So what is the correlation, I guess, my question? Why is it bringing it up again in Revelation was about this in Daniel 7?
Because
it's a connection?
Yes, it's a precept, and it's because of the 10 nations. You have to understand that when he sees the beast, that he's talking about the 10 nations that are coming, that the European nation that's going to be on the scene in the last days. So what Daniel saw, John saw the same thing.
Okay, so we're dealing with the same nation and actually currently too.
Yes, ma'am.
Revelation. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. It's gonna be a ruthless setting, and guess what? We've not even gotten down to 10 kings yet in the European Union. How many do we have now? Because I know, remember, England, they stepped out of it.
Well, they're not out yet, but they're trying to get out.
I thought they didn't. I thought that they were out of it a year or so ago when they decided not to do it.
They got to pay a certain amount of money to get out, and they haven't paid that yet, but they are trying to get out.
Okay. This is our last scripture, Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 3. It says, seek ye the Most High, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Most High's anger. All right, so that's our next section. We're not going to do that today. We are going to, any questions before, while we have an open session right now, okay, what's your question?
What is the name of the teaching you said you have about the blotting out of the name?
Oh, man, I think it is, oh, my goodness. I don't really know. I think it is they drank the golden calf with a straw. I think that might be it. But he talks about, hold on just a second.
You know how many weeks it been ago? A month?
I have not, but they're all on our channel,
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to find the scripture for me. Moses said, blot out my name. That is in,
I think it was September.
You think it was September? The actual saying is in Exodus 32. He says, but now if you will only forgive their sins, but if not, blot out my name, said Moshe. He said, blot it out of your book. That's Exodus chapter 32. And you might want to read that one. So he brought the book with him when he came. And, that our names were already in the book, and that is how we come up with what we come up with in terms of being a part of Israel and being chosen of the Most High, to do what it is. Because it's something supernatural. If he tells the Edomites, he tells us when we're going on our way to the wilderness that the Edomites and the Moabites are scared of us. He was like, they fear you. There's a reason why, and it has to be because of him. Because, you know what I'm saying, I believe that when he's with us, we have the power that we initially had in the first place. And he gives it back to us. So I think that's, having that power to be able to do what it is we do, and you know what I'm saying, and move and kill our people like he wanted us to do and take over lands, that took God's power to be with us. Any questions? But the scripture's there. It tells it all. It's right there for us to be able to see. It's written in the scripture, so we'll be able to know, and it's powerful. It's a powerful thing. But I think the biggest thing for me was to be able to precept the stars, because we are the stars. We were born to the earth. And we had to be born through the womb of the woman.
And let me ask you,
Solomon said there is nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Nothing.
Does that count?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Does that count if a child been born by C-section?
It still came from the woman, because guess what? Definitely. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we ain't gonna get technical like that, because it still grew in the womb.
Okay.
Of course. Brother Henry, the egg comes from the woman. And let me ask you guys this, those who know. And when the two come together, the male and the female, what part of the skin comes from the woman? The egg. The egg is the of the skin.
But that's my question. If it's an egg and a sperm, doesn't that make a seed?
Well, when you say seed, what do you mean?
The man has the egg. The man has the seed.
Right, the seed comes from the man, and the woman has the egg. And when the seed and the egg comes together, then it creates the person. But even at the end of the day, it's still mud. We still just walking, talking mud. Because he said, from dust thou art, to dust thou shalt return. You know what I'm saying? That's going to take us in a whole nother area. But yeah, and the reason why I know that, they say, how do you know that, Yaina, that the egg is what gives the flesh? Because when the giants were put through the flood and they died, what died off?
The flesh.
Their bodies, right, but their spirit lived on. That's why they're looking for a body to inhabit. Because they took the egg from the female woman and they laid with that female woman and put the seed of the fallen angel into that female woman, and those giants were able to have a body. And when the flood came, the human side of them that was destroyed was the body.
So that's what demons are.
That's
when a person has a demon.
They're disembodied spirits, yes. According to Enoch, yes.
They hide the spirit.
Right. This thing is deeper than what we even can begin to imagine.
We have a question in the chat.
Yes, ma'am.
Brother Henry asked, do you think that those that are awakening are the 1/3?
I can't say that. I wish. I hope so, but I can't say that. I can't. I don't know. Because the Bible talks about the elect, and it talks about the very elect. I don't know. I don't even know how to differentiate between those two. I don't know. But when we get to the wilderness, we will know, because only 1/3 is going to make it. It's crucial. It's powerful. This is a powerful story when you understand, from my perspective anyway. when you understand what's really going on, because the Most High has to redeem his people back. He has to get them back. And the dragon's job is to never allow us to know who we are and never allow us to know how much power we really have and never give us the opportunity to use that power. Because I'm telling you, once the curse is over with and we're united with Yah, we get ready to go into a whole nother phase that we're going to have power for. We're going to have it. Because like she said, some things going to come up on this earth that's going to really try the very existence of whatever you thought reality was, is going to change. And you're going to have some shown up faith and power to be able to get through it, but we're going to get through it because he said Jacob shall be saved out of it at the end of the day. You know, but like I said, when the time comes, be on the boat. Whatever the boat's coming, some people say it's going to be England sending the boat. I don't know who bringing the boat. But whatever they offer, because I hope that is a part of our reparation package that they're trying to work out with the UN. You know, we don't want no more education and no more social service program. We done already been there, did that. We want to be able to, we want, one, our student loans completely wiped away, two, our debt wiped away, and we want free passage back home and wealth to take back with us. There's no amount of money that you can pay us that will even compare to the sacrifice and the things that our ancestors did to build these countries where we've been scattered at, and everybody has benefited from it but us.
Right.
I think, and give us our children so we can take our children, stop adopting our children out the same-sex couple.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Really, amen on that.
And our
I'm so
elders,
mad at that.
we ain't leaving them either. We taking everybody.
Yeah.
No, that's only fair. I mean, you've had 400 years. They've had 400 years.
Right. Right.
You know, and that's not a lot to ask. Consider we're talking about the whole world. When you're talking about the UN, you're talking about the whole world and all the nations that have played, have been culpable in bringing us into some sort of captivity or slavery. They owe us.
Right.
Do you know what they say? They say that it'll take 268 years for us to catch up with the lowest person on that gained for our off of our slaves, basically.
Yeah, from white generational wealth, it would take us that long.
Yeah.
But that's all right. That's what the Lord wants. Because guess what? All we got to give us what we gonna give us, because we on our way to the Most High Yah. And guess what? He said, "I give you power to get well." So it don't matter what they say, but when we get with Him, the whole game gonna change. Because guess what? Nobody gonna remember that anyway. All that's gonna be erased away. He said, like dust on the caving floor, it's gonna be blown away in the wind.
I need to ask this question. My question is that where do they get off to make the decision to give us anything? We can't sit at the table and negotiate?
I don't know. I just know.
They're going to make the decision to give us what they want to give us.
Well, we just told them what we want, so I'm sure that they're listening, and we definitely will send this clip out to the...
Oh, they're listening. They're listening, okay?
Not too loans wiped away. We want all of our debt wiped away, and we want our children and our old people, and we want wealth to be able to take us back as free passage back to where we're supposed to go.
Right.
Couldn't it be the same as when they left Egypt? You know, I don't think the Egyptians were told what to give them. They just gave them something.
They gave them something, yeah.
Took their wealth and left the country. So I see that being the same way. Just we're going to get something. It probably will be valuable.
And he said,
and you had alluded in other sections or sessions that people are probably negotiating for us, Gentiles as well as Yah having people
I don't want no Gentiles
already in place.
Probably Barack Obama.
Well, I don't know. I just know that the Most High said we're coming out with great wealth. They are talking about it now as to what we they want to give us. But like I said, we can tell them now what we want. They don't have to invite us to the table. Just listen to the YouTube clip. We know what we want.
Why would you mean they're listening? They're listening to us because they think, for one, they think we're terrorists. You know?
Right. Why would you want your debt wiped out? I'm like, who cares if it's not?
Well, I mean, I don't want it to be an issue when we get ready to leave if they say only people that leave are debt free.
Right. And
they'll try to bring on the back end. I don't wipe them all.
Right, they will pull that.
You know, because everybody has a certain level amount of debt, and you know, it's just like the young lady that was in Israel that we did we used to work with. She said that she couldn't come home because Israel has that law. If you owe any money, you can't leave the country.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Man, they don't play. The student loan people will come after you.
You know, wipe all that mess out. It ain't did us no good no way.
And she was there too. That he used to play, deduct your lodging out of it.
Exactly. You know, it's like, no, we don't want no more social service programs and all that. We have already lived through all the stuff that we've lived through. You know, we've already had those things, and at the end of the day, we're still in the same situation we're in right now. You know, and it's just like, no, we get it. We're not fighting over this land. We're not fighting for this land. We're not trying to hurt nobody over this land. We want to go home. One of the girls on my job asked me, she said, do you really want to go home? I said, ask me that question again.
Right.
Wouldn't you want to go home?
Yeah, well, one thing that we got to understand, too, is that we can't go into Jerusalem in the conditions that it is. So if they give us anything, we need to take it and hold on to it, and maybe after the Almighty, because he said that he will heal our sins and clear and clean up our land. So we got to wait till the Almighty clean up our land.
But we're going into the wilderness with the wilderness like we did the first time. Who knows once we get there if he's not going to erect another tent tabernacle? We don't know.
Right.
You know, but we're going to be out there for a minute doing whatever it is that we need to do. And my thing was, you know, it's like, let us, you know, just when the time comes, and we know that it's not now, but when the time comes, let us go.
And don't complain when you get there.
Yeah, you better not. You better keep your mouth shut.
Please don't.
What's good for you, you better not complain. You better not say nothing. Either you got to sleep in the woods. You better not open up your mouth, because he said, I'm going to deal with you one-on-one.
That is correct.
Face to face.
That is absolutely correct. Please don't complain.
Now, you know what? We know you better not complain. You better be quiet and smile through the whole thing. This getting ready to get serious. I mean, for real, you know. But like I said, we have an exit strategy. And, of course, they want to come, because if I was them, I would come too. I'd be like, you ain't leaving me. I'm coming with you. Just let me get a corner. I ain't even got to have a whole spot. Just give me a corner for me to crawl in, and I won't, if I was them, and I won't say a word. You know, but like I said, we have to deal with that next week. You know, we're going to deal with them next week. We're going to deal with the sign and what the scripture said we need to look out for, when we know to go, and when the time comes for us to go, what to be looking for, you know, and then cover that area. And that should pretty much cover it. I mean, because we can always go down the whole tribulation, but I don't want to really get into the whole tribulation out in the wilderness teaching, because that has to be something altogether different. But we're definitely going to cover that area next week so that we know. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to thank the listeners that are out in the YouTube audience listening to us. I'm going to cut off the recording, and for you all who want to stay